Welcome back. This is Pharma Careers, clear role breakdowns, practical skills, and step-by-step career roadmaps.
So you're a hospital pharmacist, and you've got your eye on the pharmaceutical industry, but you probably feel a little stuck. Well, in this explainer, we are going to cut right through all that confusion and give you a real, practical blueprint for making that career switch happen. This isn't just theory, it's a solid plan you can actually use. Now, this might sound a little harsh, but trust me, it's the most important advice you're going to hear. The main reason so many fantastic pharmacists struggle with this transition is because they're selling a set of skills that Big Pharma just doesn't see in the same way. They're not hiring you for your hospital exposure. They're looking for something totally different. So here's the game plan. First up, we're tackling the biggest hurdle, a critical shift in your mindset. Then we're going to teach you how to speak their language, how to rebuild your profile to catch a recruiter's eye, and finally, how to absolutely ace your interviews. By the end of this, you'll have a real blueprint to get started right away. All right, let's dive right into the absolute foundation of all this, the mindset shift. Here's the secret. Pharma companies are not hiring you for your hospital exposure. That's not what they care about. They're hiring you for the workflows that you've already completely mastered. Getting this difference, well, that's what unlocks the entire thing. And this right here, this is the secret sauce. This is what those pharma recruiters are really looking for when they see your resume. They're not just seeing your daily tasks, they're translating them into these core business skills. Your incredible discipline with documentation, your built-in safety-first mindset, your sharp clinical reasoning, and your ability to communicate clearly. These are the skills that make you valuable to them. Okay, so now that we've got the right mindset, let's get into the nitty-gritty. This is where it gets super practical. You see, you already have all the right experience. You just need to stop talking about it in hospital jargon and start translating it into the corporate language that pharma understands. And I'm not kidding, it really is that simple. You just have to think of yourself as being bilingual. You're already fluent in hospital speak, and now you're about to get fluent in pharma speak. The next few slides, think of them as your personal Rosetta Stone. Okay, let's look at a perfect example of this translation in action. You don't just do medication safety checks, no. You possess a patient safety mindset. You see the difference? The first one is just a task you perform. The second one, that's a core value, a philosophy that is absolutely critical in the highly regulated world of pharmacovigilance. And here's another one. This is a biggie. Interaction review sounds, well, kind of routine, right? It's just part of the daily grind. But risk evaluation thinking? Now that sounds strategic. It shows you aren't just a robot following a checklist. You're actively thinking, assessing, and preventing potential harm. That's the bedrock of jerk safety. Now, this next one is absolutely vital. Every single hospital pharmacist knows that heart-pounding pressure of being ready for an audit. In the pharma world, that readiness isn't just a once-in-a-while event. It's a constant state of being. So when you reframe your documentation skills as compliance behavior, you're sending a powerful signal that you live and breathe in that kind of structured, rule-driven world. And finally, let's think about something you do every single day, talking to patients. You're taking incredibly complex medical information and breaking it down so anyone can understand it. That's not just counseling. That is scientific communication, a hugely important skill for roles in medical information or medical affairs, where you might be explaining clinical trial data to other doctors. All right, you're learning the language. Now it's time to build your profile so it screams pharma ready. This part is all about being proactive, about strategically filling in any timing knowledge gaps and completely redesigning how you present yourself, both on your resume and online. And listen, this should be a huge relief. This is where a lot of people get overwhelmed, but you don't need to be. Please don't go out and sign up for a dozen random online courses. You'll just look unfocused. Instead, be a sniper. Pick a specific target role, like pharmacovigilance, and then focus only on gaining the key bits of knowledge you need to sound credible. So, for example, if you're targeting pharmacovigilance, or PV, these are your non-negotiables. You absolutely have to understand the criteria for determining if an adverse event is serious. You've got to know the key differences between an AE and an ADR. You need to grasp the basic workflow of a case safety report, and you need to get the fundamentals of writing a clear safety narrative. Master these few things, and you're in the game. Okay, now for a pro tip. This is how you really stand out from the crowd. Don't just list a course you took on your resume. That's telling. You need to show them. Create a sample project. Using totally anonymous, made-up data, write a short safety narrative, or draw out a flowchart of that case report workflow. This becomes tangible proof that you can actually do the job. And just look at the difference here. It's night and day, right? The before headline on your LinkedIn profile is so passive, so generic. The after version is active, it's specific, and it's jam-packed with the exact keywords that a recruiter's search software is looking for. It practically yells, "Hey, I know exactly what I want, and I already have the skills you need." So you've got the language down, your profile is looking sharp. Now it's time to actually make your move. This part is all about execution, how to network the right way, and how to answer that one crucial question you are absolutely guaranteed to get in every single interview. You are going to get asked, "So why do you want to move to pharma?" It's a guarantee. And you can't give a vague answer like, "Oh, I'm looking for a new challenge." That's a total non-answer. Instead, you need a powerful, structured reason like this one. It perfectly connects your clinical past to a pharma future, it highlights the idea of scale, and it shows you welcome compliance. This answer is a home run. Networking feels like this big, scary thing, right? It doesn't have to be. Here's a super simple 3-step plan. Go on LinkedIn, find 20 people who made the exact same switch you want to make. And don't just message them asking for a job. Ask them smart questions. What was your very first role in the industry? What was the one skill that helped you the most? Their answers are pure gold, real-time intel from the front lines. And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the big takeaway. Let's pull everything we've talked about together into one core idea that should be your guiding star through this whole process. This is it. If you remember one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. This transition stops being scary the moment you realize you're not changing industries. You're not some outsider trying to break in. You are an experienced, skilled professional who is simply applying your proven workflows, your expertise in safety, documentation, and communication in a new and different setting. So I'm going to leave you with a challenge, a call to action, really. Think about your job right now, your daily tasks. I want you to pick one, just one thing you do every day, and try to reframe it using this new language. What's the very first workflow you're going to translate from hospital speak to pharma speak? Answering that, well, that's your first real step down this exciting new path.
If this helped, like and subscribe. Watch the next video in Pharma Careers for the next role breakdown.